President-elect Trump doesn't take office for 2 more days, but state governments are already responding to his agenda. Let's bring in Indiana Governor Mike Braun. Governor, congratulations to you. You're new to the office.
Thank you.
You expect, what do you expect, I should say, as President Trump takes office? Is he going to be making your life easier?
Well, I spent 6 years in the Senate, and some of that time was with President Trump the first couple years. And all I can tell you is that under the current regime, I'm glad they're heading out the doors because government's grown. So much of what we're about at the state level is running a business, making sure minimally you don't spend more than you take in. And I remember in the times I interacted with the Trump administration, it was on health care reform, and they were more out of the box thinking about how to do that, reform the industry, and then the industry sued them through executive orders. I did a bunch of executive orders this week to streamline our own government, which from a place like Indiana, you figure, well, everything can run completely efficiently. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit to pick there, and we did that by reorganizing our own state government into kind of a agile, entrepreneurial fashion, and then did do executive orders to eliminate DEI, replace it with MEI, merit, excellence, and innovation, getting the employees that still haven't come back to work. Former government did an executive order on that, and they didn't pay attention to him. So things like that, to where we're going to try to reflect the America First agenda and be a good partner for everything he's going to try to do in a much more difficult environment.
There is a huge percentage of the federal workforce that is still working from home. Do you expect that's going to change?
Well, I think that's going to be one of the things they try to do, and we'll see. It would force maybe attrition. You got to remember, we are borrowing like 30 cents in every dollar out here. Something's got to give, and the current oversight through Congress obviously isn't working. It's borrowing now $1 trillion every 6 months, so you got to have DOGE. Hopefully Elon and Vivek, along with full authority from Trump to go after it, maybe we'll turn the corner. It is deep, it's intransigent, and sadly, Congress would be the place where you'd want to start with it, but they don't do budgets, don't do appropriations transparently, so I'm hopeful. Only a guy like Trump, I think, could turn the corner from what Biden has done to kind of ingrain big government at a level we've never seen it before.
Yeah, you ordered, what, a 5% reduction in state spending there in Indiana. Why is it so difficult to do something like that at the federal level?
It would be so easy to do it here because we're lean, relatively speaking, in most state governments. You've got balanced budget amendments or statutory laws that say you can't, abuse it. Here, with the printing press in the basement and legislators that don't do the job through budgeting and appropriations, something's got to give. And yes, you could find a lot more than 5% if you had the will to do it. Rand Paul and guys like me have put balanced budget amendments on the floor, and we get some in our own party to vote against it. So yes, should be low-hanging fruit, but they call it the swamp for a reason.
States like Florida and Texas have really enjoyed an influx of population under conservative leadership, and you expect that the same thing is happening there in Indiana?
Well, I may not have the exact weather to offer, but we got 4 beautiful seasons. We've already got folks from the northeast part of Illinois, that is Chicago, moving into northwestern Indiana. And I think as a business owner, did that for 37 years, in the Senate, our office that we put together was one of the most effective for doing things in a limited amount of time. Most of them have come back with me. So I think we're going to get a lot done, and I will be mentioned along with Florida, Texas, Tennessee, where, hey, Indiana's a good place to come to. It's run even better than it's been run before.
We wish you well, Indiana Governor Mike Braun.
Thanks.
You.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.